So my guest is a former teacher. I always try to remind him of that. He's former party national officer, and now he's Minister for Sports and Recreation. He's Member of Parliament for Buem in the Oti region. The Honorable Kofi Idi Adams is my guest. You're welcome to Face to Face.
Thank you, my brother.
How are you doing?
Well, I'm doing okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You know, in this era where 188 people are looking for a position, few are called, few are chosen, I'm happy for you. Congratulations. At least you passed my village on your way to your constituency. So I would say that I need to have a minister driving past my village.
A lot of ministers drive past your village. And a lot of ministers and presidents have driven past your village.
But congratulations. How has it been? I see now your beard is becoming gray, your mustache is gray. Is it the stress? They say sports ministry is mafia. Have you started suffering already?
Oh, I've heard that, but I haven't seen it since coming here. It's been normal business for me, and we all have our style, and the reaction sometimes is based on the action. So maybe my action is not generating that type of reaction that has been seen in the past, but it's giving me results. So I wouldn't say that it's mafia, but I heard that they say it's mafia, and be careful. Everybody wants you, be careful with them. They are this, they are that. But I truly have not seen what it is that they've been telling me. And truly so, I ask, so why do people say it is this, it is that? That they can set you up, they can do this, they can do that, and set you up with money and what have you. But as a minister, your duty is not supposed to handle money. Okay. You are not a signatory to the account. You are supposed to, yes, be the lead mobilizer of funds for the ministry, but you are not the lead spender of the funds. If the team is supposed to go for a tournament, there's a purse holder. If they have to carry any cash, that purse holder is the one supposed to carry it. So
normal Lamisa things.
I don't think that there should be any such reason.
But maybe because the back stops with you, and politics is an emotive subject, it's a national issue. If there's a rumbling in Brazil, as a minister, you will be forced to carry the cash and put it in an aeroplane and go there because president has said, bring back the cap, or at least perform well. And then here you are, we are not performing. It is you who will be blamed, not necessarily the president. So that's why people want to then put their hands in there.
Well, so that is why, as much as possible, you have to try and avoid certain things. I always believe in engagement. Because this whole incident that happened then, the money, there was no way any player was going to spend that money there. There was no way. They were not going to spend that money there. So what I thought was the reason for the level of agitation in the camp demanding that the money be available or we are not playing.
Because if you don't get it there, you won't get it here. So get it there and then come home with it and spend it here.
So that's why I'm talking about engagement. So it's always important to, and there's one thing I've done. I've learned to engage the more, and I'll tell it as it is. If it's not available, it's not available. If it's available, it's available. If I have to use my own personal resources to let you know that this can be done, I will do so.
Before you came here and before a minister was chosen, there was talk, and I listened to the sports journalists and sports commentators, and they say President Mahama should appoint someone who come and chase the GFA. There's a cabal, someone who come and crack the whip, someone who is going to be tough and all of that. Are you that kind of person? Are you fighting the GFA? Well,
if you said they said so, and President Mahama chose me, and you conclude that he listened to them, then it means maybe if that is what he was looking for, then I am the one.
No, they are the ones who said he should do. Ask whether he agrees with them or not is a different matter.
There's a job to be done. He has chosen the person he feels can do the job. My duty is to see to it that his vision, the job that he wants done, is done.
Would you be an antagonistic minister towards the FA?
Well, you see, there are a number of federations that, as minister responsible for sports, you work with and you work through. Being antagonistic should be the last thing you must adapt as a leader. I see problems, but I don't see the human beings as the problems. So the first thing I would do is to let us identify the problem and to let you know that we must solve this problem. But where you continue to become an obstacle to solving the problem, then it means now you are a problem. In that case, we can deal with you as a problem. So I don't start seeing a federation, especially that I cannot change them. I didn't elect them. They have their constitution, they have processes they go through to elect their leaders. If another Congress is coming up and I feel like, oh, I want to influence things or put some strings behind the scene to get people who will fit a certain standard elected, that one, if you have the means to be able to do it, why not you do? But this one, they have been elected, they are there. You cannot come and fire them.
What's your relationship with them since you came into office?
Well, it's been cordial. We work. It may not be the best, but at least we are working.
They are not holding you somewhere?
Oh, how can they hold a minister? A minister should be the one to be able to hold everybody.
They say they are too strong. They can hold
Well,
ministers.
then
They can make ministers run around.
Oh, no.
Let you do whatever they say you should do.
You see, when you are failing, I would not sit there for your failure to get to a point of it affecting me. That is why I'm saying I start by not seeing you as the problem. I'm prepared to put my, somebody says his job on the line, my head to be chopped for us to work to solve a problem. But the day I see that you are part of the problem, you are refusing to be part of the solution, I'll treat you as the problem and I'll let the people know.
But so far you have not seen that in the FA.
Well, I wouldn't say that with what confronts me, I see the individuals as a major problem that I should focus my energy on now.
Okay.
I don't have to focus my energy on now.
Very well.
Time will tell.
Okay.
Time will tell. There will be time for elections, but for now, we are working together and we are getting results.
Okay. I've gone ahead of us. Let's backtrack and start all over. Now, Kofi Adams, Minister for Sports. I have known you for years. I didn't see that coming. There are people who say, oh, but Kofi, does he know football? Is he a sports guy? Why did President Mahama give you the Ministry of Sports? And why did he add the portfolio recreation to it? Tell us what the brief is.
Why did he give me the sports ministry? I'm sure he was looking for someone with a combination of toughness and softness. Because you need that kind of tact to handle a ministry like this. A ministry that must have like a military mentality and operate with a military precision. You need some level of toughness and softness at the same time. Be tough when you have to and be soft when you have to at the same time. So like the weather, it can be rainy and windy at the same time. Be what you would have to be. Wind will blow, rain will follow, the weather will become cool and we move on. So maybe he was looking for that person and I fit in very well. Don't also forget that the same President Mahama as candidate in 2016, I was national organizer, chose me also as the campaign coordinator. That was the first time such thing ever happened. And nobody has really been able to fit that stake and that role.
So again. He trusts your work.
He knows my work.
But did you see sports ministry as a place you would come to?
Well, if you ask me whether I thought I would be appointed a minister of state, well, I knew I had everything it takes to be a minister of state. I knew when it comes to the party, I have worked so well over the years in the party. And I knew that the NDC was going to win. I prayed to be given the opportunity to serve, and I think that my prayers were answered. It didn't matter which ministry. All I know is that as a government, we have roles to play, and wherever you are given, make sure you do your best there to make sure the government ultimately succeeds. So maybe apart from Minister for Justice, which is linked to Attorney General, where you must be a professional, you must be a lawyer, all other ministries, it's just leadership, some level of leadership that you are offering. So you can't offer legal advice if you are not a lawyer. So an Attorney General need be a lawyer to be an Attorney General and then Minister for Justice. But for all other ministries, whether finance or all the other places, it's leadership.
So you are not, are you a sports person?
Well, who is a sports person?
I don't even know.
So
do you
I was telling somebody the other day that we have left, and I'm happy that you have come here with your program to come and engage me. One thing I've observed is that we have left sports in our country, the conversation to be handled only by people who describe, maybe now that I'm part of them, describe ourselves as sports people.
Sports people.
But that should not be the case. Sports is a serious industry.
For all of us.
For all of us. Indeed, it's an industry to do with talents. That we must not leave it for only those who know how to run commentary in a particular language or the other, or who knows the individual players of just one sport to run affairs of sports in our country. We must all be interested. Your platform, the kind of incisive questions that you ask of all the other sectors, you must do same for sports. Don't leave it for sports panorama. Don't leave it for sports.
They are looking for
Bernard's program,
breakfast show,
the breakfast show, and then the evening point of view. He shouldn't leave sports for only the sports, but he should talk about sports also on that platform. He must be interested in sports because sports, look, the world today, sports ecosystem put together is over 700 billion. In few years, it will hit 1 trillion. Just 2 competitions, the World Cup and then another tournament alone, is going to generate more than 65 billion. Just next year, when we go into the competitions. So sports is not a place that you should just leave for some people. Okay. It's an area that all of us must be interested because it is for the development of the young ones.
For what it's worth, I'm a swimmer, so me too, I'm a sports person.
You're a sports person,
so
that's
I'm a
the
sports
thing.
person, and I play Owari.
So you see, there are many.
Which is what I'm going to come to. So that's what they call the lesser known sports. And I'll ask you what your plan is for that area. But help me understand the recreation part of your ministry. What is that supposed to be? Are you going to be putting up lovers bench on lawns in Accra for us to go and sit and do lovey-lovey?
What it is that sports per se is perceived and seen as a competitive activity. But in that competitive activity, there is that same sport or others that are done only for the joy of it, for the entertainment of it. Not necessarily because you are competing to win. Football, for example, is a competitive sport. But same football can also be played as a recreational for fun.
Yeah.
So in order to have mass participation, you would have to have the recreation part of it.
So you end up monetizing recreation.
Well, you monetize it also for health reasons. Indeed, the number one thing many countries invest in sport is health. Because when you do it, you tend to reduce a lot of non-communicable diseases. Even for communicable diseases, the spread is more for those who have underlying situations. And many underlying conditions will arise as a result of lack of activity. When COVID came, for example, many who suffered it to the point of death were those who had underlying conditions. And what are some of these underlying conditions? Some who are overweight, some who have pressure-related issues, some who have, and all these things are lack
Lifestyle.
of activity-related lifestyle. So when you engage in sports and recreational activities, the more you do walking that you see as recreation, you do ampe, the worries, the this, anything that exercises you, it tends to reduce some of these non-communicable situations.
Okay. So when we say Ministry for Sports and Recreation, the aspect of recreation, what are the key thematic areas that you deal with, or what are the things you are looking at?
So every sport it's also recreational sport. That's all that I want to say first. So we can play football for recreation. It's not only the ampes or the worries or the drafts that are considered as recreational sports, or walking, just taking a walk around, or tug of war, those simple ampe, and then those traditional ones that are called recreational. Even the competitive ones can also be used for purposes of recreation. So the recreational part is to encourage mass participation, like the Keep Fit clubs, the weekend walks that people do. Take, for example, if we have to develop the Efua Sutherland's Children's Park to a park where a number of activities will be happening and parents will be there, the adults have their side where they play, the kids have their side where they play. Such things bring
So what are you focusing on?
And I have told a number of chiefs that I have met that, you see, the palaces are not big just for assembling people and punishing them for doing one wrong or the other. The palaces are designed the way they are designed also for recreational activity. So once a while, chiefs should be able to open the space for recreational activity. Get some Owari, get some draft, get some this, and let the community gather at the palace yard and have this kind of recreational activity. You will see how the community will relate with you, the chief. Okay. They will relate with you better. And that's why I loved it when I saw a video of Otufo Osetutu visiting they were playing some draft, Abu and this competition, and he was there himself. I love that, and I've always been watching it. And I want to encourage a number of chiefs to get involved and open their space for such things.
So are there major projects you intend to embark on, specifically on the recreation side? Let us do more sports, but the things you've mentioned, are there some things you're focusing on doing?
Yes. There are a number of things that we're focusing on. First and foremost, we want to encourage the immediate ones, low-hanging fruits, is to encourage a number of Keep Fit clubs to be established. And of course, when they are established, they must undergo proper training and have their programs that they do. We want to see, in collaboration with Ministry of Local Government, Rural Development, and Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, also see the parks that exist in various metropolis, municipalities, and districts, and see how we can calibrate and redesign them for purposes of recreational activity. We will also be working in collaboration with Ministry of Health to also do this number of things. Then we intend, as part of both recreation and sports, to have multi-purpose parks. And we want to invite corporate world, both public and private, to partner in doing this. That those times when I was schooling in my holy village in Tetema, we had a basketball pitch, park. We had a volleyball court. Indeed, we had other smaller courts. The classrooms, they would shift the decks, and table tennis was being played in the classroom.
And four corners.
Today, all that is vanished. We need to bring that back to life. So individuals should be able to, your community at the junction in Asucho, you should be able to build a multi-purpose.
We have a big
park.
School park. Please come and build for us.
No, so I'm saying you have the platform, mobilize.
We'll bring a proposal.
So that small park, there can be basketball court, there can be volleyball, there can be handball.
And not just football.
And not just football.
This is
And not just
face-to-face.
football.
This is face-to-face on ChannelOne TV. My guest is the Honourable Minister for Sports and Recreation, Kofi Adams, is MP for Buem. I was just trying to understand the general plan with his ministry in terms of recreation. We'll come back, we'll talk about sports, and of course the Black Stars will feature, even though they keep saying to us that sports is not the Black Stars. But when the Black Stars win, we celebrate. When they lose, we all cry. I'll talk to him about that. Please stay.